Addison Rae just made her Keeping Up with the Kardashians debut. Hey guys, welcome back to another shared newsroom home. We have got to unpack Addison Rae on Keeping Up with the Kardashians. But before we get started, if you're new here, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I am your host, Fiona Zaring, and I am joined by the wonderful Tyler Joseph Ellis. Tyler, this is truly wild. I did not know how much I needed this until the news broke. I am so excited. Let's just get into it because a new promo for the show gives viewers a look at obviously 20-year-old Addison Rae and Kourtney Kardashian's, very close friendship, even though they do have that 21-year age difference. The two of them became BFFs over the summer, amid the pandemic. And listen, let's just call a spade a spade. It's confused a lot of people, right? I mean, at the end of the day, I'm happy for them. I like them both, but I don't have any friends who are 20 years older than me. So it's something that I think just caused a lot of people to be curious. So Tyler, are you one of those people? Do you have questions? What do you make of their friendship?
I like it. It's so odd because there's two sides of the coin. One, you look at it like from an objective standpoint, let's just take their sort of fame and their titles away. It's like, oh, that's sort of unlikely. That's interesting. That seems like an interesting sort of situation. And then you have to factor in the other side of the coin, which is, oh, like they're so famous and they sort of have similar sort of images, and I'm sure being at the level of fame, I wouldn't say Addison has quite reached the Kardashian level, but I think she's definitely on her way there. And I can see maybe how, just in terms of their circumstantial similarities, that they would then find each other and develop an unlikely friendship. But the key word in both of these things is unlikely. I think none of us saw this coming. We're like, oh, you'd be friends with what? One of the, like Kylie, like, oh, if her and Kylie were BFFs, I'd be like, yeah, for sure. But that's not the case. So I'm very interested to see how this plays out because I want to know their dynamic.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, listen, age is but a number, right? We see people that are in love with people 10 years, 20 years, whatever.
Yes.
Like, whatever works for you, totally go for it. But I definitely think, curiosity was going to be normal, especially considering this wasn't just like when they first started hanging out, I thought, okay, Kourtney has Mason loves TikTok, Addison's on TikTok. When you're Kourtney Kardashian, you make the call, you can have Addison Rae at your house, doing TikTok dances in the backyard in an hour, right? Like, totally track.
Oh, yeah.
But clearly it truly has become a meaningful friendships. They're very,
Absolutely.
very close. And I think that's where people are just, the word of the day, curious, including Kourtney's family. In the promo, Kim asks those tough questions people have wanted answers to really unpack this friendship. She actually asks Mason.
She sleeps over a lot? What room does she sleep in?
My mom's. And then we cut to Kim doing their little interview moments, and she says to the cameras, Kourtney's not really like this with her other girlfriends. And we get this great montage of Kourtney and Kim, partying on the screen. So to me, it just, first of all, full on sleepover vibes, right? I mean, this is like, we're staying up all night, we're talking boys, we're doing the whole, girly thing. And it just kind of reminds me of my high school friends and I. Like, this is the kind of friendship where we would just talk till 3 a.m. and wear matching outfits. It's all very I don't know, high school, pure. I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah. I'm so with you. And I miss it. I'm like, I sort of am jealous. Like, I want to be in this group. I want to be in this little friend group. I want to wear a matching pajama set and talk boys and eat and stay up until 3 a.m. You're so right. It just feels so nostalgic, this friendship. And I love that everyone's sort of questioning it. And I love that it seems so pure. It's just so entertaining ultimately. I mean, that's what this is. It's just, I love keeping up with the Kardashians, I guess. And then Addison Rae, because I mean, there's never a dull moment. And I can't wait. I just have a feeling that Addison Rae, 40 years from now, is going to come out with some sort of memoir with some fun insights into this friendship and how it was a super maybe formative thing in her life, because she's 20 years old. It kind of being taken under the wing of the biggest family in the world, so at least in this
Yeah.
country. So I'm so excited for the stories to come out. I'm excited to see how this friendship pans out. I'm all for it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's definitely going to be interesting just as viewers to watch the friendship unfold, but I am
Mhm.
with you. Down the line, I'm sure we are going to hear some interesting tales about these days.
Yes.
As we wait for that memoir, though, because I'm with you, one day we will have an Addison Rae memoir on the shelves. We can look back to an interview she did with ET back in September. And she addressed, the criticism that Kourtney and her have received because of their friendship.
Yeah.
At the time, she explained, Kourtney and I just happen to have a great friendship, which is really fun. She's been a great person to have in my life. She said in my YouTube video that I had a great energy that she liked to be around. And I think she has great energy as well. She has so much experience in her life that I can really just look at and kind of learn from. I mean, you said it. Obviously, Addison is navigating crazy fame right now and has gone from,
Yes.
being a teenager, figuring out where she's going to college, to having her entire life splashed in the public eye. Fans want answers, 24/7
Yeah.
updates. She's one of those young celebrities that's like kind of overexposed, right? People feel very
Yeah.
entitled to every piece of her life. And that's something
Yeah.
that Kourtney and all of the Kardashians have literally made careers off of, right? They're kind of the experts in
Yes.
navigating this kind of fame. So one of the things that I've always thought is like, in my life, in my college days, I had bosses who kind of crossed the line from bosses to mentor to friend, right? You can have age
Yeah.
gaps there. Someone you look up to who you do really, really connect with. And I feel like Kourtney could really be a solid figure in her life like that. Maybe she's not like a boss
Mhm.
slash mentor, but she's like a big sister kind of thing. That's sort of
Yes,
what I
absolutely.
expect to see from their friendship.
Yes, I think that you as you were talking, I'm like big sister energy, because it's I have more experience than you, sort, and but at the same time it can be, but we can have fun together and everything, but still you could learn from me. I'm like, that's exactly sort of the dynamic that I'm getting, and I think that's the purity that we're getting from this, is that it does
Mhm.
feel very sisterly, which is again so unexpected and just so sweet. And I think your comment about everyone feeling really entitled to know the inner workings of Addison Rae's life, because I think that is completely true. And I think only exacerbated by the fact that she got famous from a social media app. So it's like
Mhm.
this, I think this type of fame, and where we've been seeing it, and the extreme cases that are like Charlie and Dixie and Addison, like they're gonna have a tough time figuring out how to navigate this level, that of course the
Mhm.
Kardashians have paved the way, but social media, coming up on social media, this is going to be a new type of thing. And I imagine it not being very easy to navigate, especially when the pandemic is over and people are out and about again. I think it's going to be
Mhm.
tough. And I'm grateful, honestly, that Addison, who is again 20 years old and in the last year has blown up in ways that she never could have imagined, has someone like Kourtney to be like, hey, I understand what you're going through better than almost anyone. And I can help you through this, because I don't want to see Addison or Charlie or like fall a victim to this crazy
Mhm.
world. And I think their Kardashians are a really good hand to be held during this time, to get deep for a second. I want them to sustain this momentum that they're going on. I don't want it to come crashing down. We've seen it happen. So
Yeah, and I mean, all things considered, like they've all faced moments here or there where they've apologized or explained things, whatever. It
oh yeah,
hasn't been like a smooth, no bumps in the road
no,
process, but they have been able to, all the, Addison, Dixie, Charlie, like they've been very
yeah,
fortunate. They have families surrounding them. They clearly have good teams. They're young and they're, on good paths. And I am totally with
yeah,
you. When celebrities get so overexposed so young, and their whole sort of like socialization window, right, as they're growing up, gets warped and like changed into
yeah,
a very unrelatable path, it would be so
Yeah.
great to have someone who's truly been through it, kind of be able to say to you, that's going to be a mistake, right? Or, hey, careful with
Yes,
that. Like,
yes.
I wish I hadn't shared XYZ with the world at the time, just
Exactly.
keep that close to the vest for now. So I'm with
Yeah.
you. I think there could be a really great sort of big sister mentorship vibe between their friendship.
Yeah.
Obviously, we haven't seen it yet, but I'm with,
Yeah.
that's what, like, I hope the Kardashians are
too.
kind of giving her that. Addison also told ET during that interview, she doesn't think friendships are anything that people should judge, which she's totally right. If you're friends
Yeah.
with someone, more power to you. She said, at the end of the day, I think friendships are just what you make them, what you have, like the time you spend with them, the things you enjoy doing. I mean, surface level, right? From us watching, what we have seen is a lot of outdoor workouts, a lot of photo shoots by the pool, a shared love of healthy avocado smoothies, right? I mean, they sort of seem to just share some of the same interests. But on a heavier side, we also saw Kourtney Kardashian sign on to make, a cameo and appearance in She's All That, which, as far as I'm aware, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, Kourtney Kardashian has never really acted before. This is something that I feel like you're not getting Kourtney Kardashian, the reality megastar, to make a cameo in your movie unless she really cares about
Yes.
the person whose project it is. So I think it really does go to show that as much as some of us maybe don't understand fully all elements of the friendship,
Yeah.
it's real for them.
I completely agree. I think that's so sweet, and I think people or cynics in the world will be, maybe Kourtney is scared that as she's getting older, she'll become more irrelevant, and these younger people are coming up with a vengeance, and maybe people will assume that she's sort of clinging on to Addison and sort of wanting to remain relevant. But ultimately, from what we've seen, and I think it does come from a very genuine place, and I guess I'm not the kind of person to assume that there's any ulterior motives here. And I just think it's a friend being like, yeah, I'll like be featured in She's All That. Like, why not? Like, I just think that's so sweet. I think I would love a friendship. I would love a friendship like that, no matter what the age difference may be. I think it does seem really sweet. So I can't wait to see all that unfolds here. Cause I mean, knowing how public both of those people are, we're going to see some things. So I'm very excited to keep up.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this kind of brings me to my last question for you, which is like, I'm just curious. Obviously, this is our first little taste, this little promo, a quick clip. The family's asking the same questions fans have been asking online, but we know that the friendship sort of prevails past those initial moments, those initial hangouts, which it sort of feels like these clips are showing. So do we think we're going to start to see Addison kind of as a semi-consistent friend character on Keeping Up with the Kardashians? Like, is it just going to be this one moment, this one quick plot line, or will we see some behind the scenes of She's All That? Like, I don't know. It feels like, at least from where I'm sitting, she spent enough time with Kourtney that she might pop up more than once.
I am with you, Fiona. I think, especially considering that with this promo, they're very like pushing Addison's presence in the upcoming episode. I don't think they would be promoting this episode so heavily if it were a one and done, personally. I think we're going to be seeing Addison's face on this television show more than once. And I think people can look forward to that. And maybe it'll usher in, I mean, it's ultimately a really smart move. It'll usher in maybe younger viewers to Keeping Up with the Kardashians, people that idolize Addison Rae and be like, oh, I want to see what she's up to, that kind of thing. I think it's a smart, sure. I think the friendship, so fun. Love it. And I think it's such a smart move. Like, why wouldn't you have Addison like on your show? I mean, if I were a producer of the show, I'd be like, Addison, please be in more episodes, because this is just going to be so fun. It's just going to be the most fun season to watch. Yeah. And I'm here and ready. I'm ready, Fiona, for this.
All right. Well, I love that we're on the same page. Obviously, you guys, we're going to be keeping our eyes peeled for future updates, more moments, whether they're on Keeping Up with the Kardashian or off screen, between Kourtney and Addison. In the meantime, though, that is everything we have to share with you about this upcoming episode for now. So we want to know, what do you make of this? Are you excited for it? Are you kind of in the same frame of mind as Tyler and I, or is this something that you just look at and go, this does not add up? Because that's fine too. Let us know
That's fine.
down in the comments. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. As always, I am your host, Fiona Zaring. I was joined by the incredible Tyler Joseph Ellis. If you want to come say hi, our social handles are on the screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.